Good morning, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2014, around 7:08 in the morning in Billerica, Massachusetts. The sun's trying to come out today, but it's not. It's going to be another damp and dreary day. Later on today, we're going to get some heavy rain showers, and then overnight steady and heavy rain, 1 to 3 inches in some areas. Supposed to be clearing for Thursday morning, but we still will get backlash of like rain showers and stuff into Friday, and we won't see too much of the sun. Some news to report: the Boston Bruins beat the San Jose Sharks by the score of 5-3. First winning streak of the year by the Boston Bruins. They're finally at 500. People were saying that the Bruins weren't good this year, or they're going to have struggles. Every team has struggles. And thank God they got it in the early part of the season. Now I think the Bruins are going to go on their hot streak and have lots of wins in a row. And also, the San Francisco Giants beat the Kansas City Royals in the World Series Game 1 by the score of 7-1. And the Giants are up 1-0 in the series. And great pitching performance by Madison Bumgarner. And I'm surprised that the Royals lost last night. I thought they would probably somehow win, because the crowd in Kansas City are all fired up to see the World Series. So Game 2 tonight's on Fox, and also is tonight's Boston Celtics' last preseason game against the Brooklyn Nets. That game's going to be on Comcast Sportsnet. Only 7 more days to the Celtics season, and only 6 more days into the NBA season. Don't forget the NBA 2014-2015 preview blogs coming up in 3 more days. And my first subject of the day is a continuation series of the top 10 things of everything and everything. I now have the top 10 best TV sports studio shows of all time. The sports studio shows are one of that show highlights of the games, previews, analysis, features, profiles. It's the sports. Some of these sports like studio shows are highly ranked, and here's the top 10 best TV sports studio shows of all time. Number 10 on the list is Inside the NFL. Inside the NFL debuted in 1977 on HBO, and it lasted over 30 years on HBO. Some of the whole people who were on Inside the NFL on HBO for the 31 years on the network were Bob Costas, Dan Marino, Chris Collinsworth, Len Dawson, Nick Buttafuoco, and so many others. And for many years, the voiceover of the highlights of Inside the NFL was Harry Callis. It moved to Showtime in 2008. James Brown hosted it for about 7 years. Also, Phil Simms was on it, and Boomer Esiason. Currently, it's hosted by Greg Gumbel, and also you could see Inside the NFL on the NFL Network as well as Showtime. That comes in at number 10. Number 9 on the all-time list of the greatest sports studio shows of all time, Around the Horn. This is ESPN's slap banter show. It has some game show elements. It's hosted by Tony Reali. The original host was Max Kellerman. Like 4 sports writers would talk about the topics of the day, and it was a very good show. It's still on the air. It's one of the ESPN's best shows out there. Number 8 on the all-time list of greatest TV sports studio shows of all time, NBA Showdown. That lasted from 1990 through 2002 on NBC, hosted by Bob Costas, later on hosted by Hannah Storm and Ahmad Rashad. It talked about the previews of the upcoming NBA games, which NBC aired many times. It was a doubleheader. They had some good insight features. Some of the studio analysts on NBA Showtime over the years when it was on NBC was Bill Walton, Dr. J. Julius Erving, Peter Vesey, Tom Talbot, Pat Croce, Jason Williams, and so many others. Also Isaiah Thomas. That comes in at number 8. Number 7 on the all-time list of the best TV sports studio shows of all time, Sports Nation on ESPN2. Sports Nation's been on since 2009. Originally, it was hosted by Colin Coward and Michelle Beadle. Talked about some sports issues of the day. Also, fan polls about sports issues. They would have some guests and percentage of stuff. It's pretty good. And it's now in LA, hosted by Max Kellerman and Michelle Beadle. And for a couple of years, it was co-hosted by Colin Coward and Carissa Thompson. It's a pretty good show. It's on 3 p.m. weekdays on ESPN2. Number 6 on the all-time list of best TV sports studio shows of all time, ESPN's Baseball Tonight. ESPN's Baseball Tonight's been on the air since 1990. It's one of a great baseball highlights show. Primarily host was Carl Ravitch, but over the years, Chris Berman would host it from time to time, especially on Sundays. Gary Miller and others, and they show like a lot of in-game highlights of the games being played, some features. Every game they would show a Dina list of who hit home runs. And ESPN Baseball Tonight produces more shows for ESPN besides SportsCenter each year. That's amazing. Number 5 on the all-time list of greatest best TV sports shows of all time. Pardon the Interruption, also known as PTI. Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon have been hosting the show since 2001. It's been on the air since 2001. It's at 5:30 p.m. on ESPN. Tony and Michael debate each day about sports issues. They have a guest. They have a feature called Meal Time and ranking stuff. And then they have some major topics of the day. And Tony always at the end of the show waves the Canadian flag backwards. And it's a good show, so catch it. Number 4 on the all-time list of best TV shows, sports studio shows of all time. Fox NFL Sunday. It's Fox NFL Sunday's been on the air since 1994. It starts at noontime each on the football season before the NFL games. The original host was James Brown. Then he hosted it for 11 years, and they tried the experiment with Joe Buck, but that didn't work out. Now it's hosted by Kurt Menefee, and the co-host is Terry Bradshaw. Other people been on Fox NFL Sunday over the years: Howie Long, Jimmy Johnson, Michael Strahan, Ronnie Lott, Chris Collinsworth, and a couple of others. They preview the upcoming NFL games that are going to be on Fox, plus several special features. They've had comedians on there. They have had weatherman. And it was pretty good. Catch it, the highest rated pregame show out there for football. Number 3 on the list of best TV sports shows of all time, Inside the NBA. This takes place after each NBA game on TNT, and it's hosted by Ernie Johnson, and he has his studio analyst Charles Barkley, Kenny Digit Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. They recap the NBA games on TNT and others. They have features and insights. It's won many awards for Best Studio Show, Sports Emmys, and there's a lot of good banter between Ernie Johnson and Charles and Kenny and Shaquille O'Neal. Can't wait to watch Inside the NBA when it comes back next week. And also it's replayed a lot on NBA TV because NBA TV is managed by Turner Sports. Number 2 on the all-time list of greatest best TV sports studio shows of all time, the NFL Today on CBS. The NFL Today started up in the 60s, but it didn't become great until 1975 when Brent Musburger hosted it. Along he had Irv Cross, Jimmy the Greek Snyder, and Phyllis George. That was great because Phyllis George did the feature stories. Irv Cross did the analysts of the games, and Jimmy the Greek Snyder picked the games, handpicked the games, who was going to win and who was going to lose. Brent Musburger was a great host, and when he was fired in 1990 by CBS, Greg Gumbel took it over. He had Terry Bradshaw on it and a couple of other analysts, but when the NFL lost left CBS in 1994, the NFL Today was off the air for 4 years. There was rumors that they were going to keep the NFL during the years that CBS did not have football and focus on other sports, but it wouldn't have worked out. But when the NFL on CBS came back in 1988, the NFL Today returned, and it's been hosted by Jim Nantz and Greg Gumbel, and currently hosted by James Brown. A lot of analysts over the years were Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, Mike Ditka, Brent Jones, George Schieffer, Marcus Allen, and a whole bunch of others. Boomer Esiason, Tony Gonzalez are some of the current ones. Bart Scott. Pretty good show. Lots of previews for the NFL games, also features and stuff. It's probably the best NFL studio show of all time. And the number one best TV sports studio show ever, this is no doubt about it, ESPN Sports Center. ESPN Sports Center was the first show ESPN had in 1979, and there's been over 40,000 sports centers produced. It's popular. It's mainly focused on like news and features and analysts of all the games and stuff like that. Sports Center anchors over the years were Bob Lee, Chris Berman, Gail Gardner, Tom Mees, Greg Gumbel, Andrea Kramer. Those were the famous ones. Currently, the big ones are Hannah Storm and Dave Lloyd, Linda Cohn, and Jay Crawford, Lindsay Zaniak, Chris McKendry, Randy Scott, Jade McCarthy, Sarah Walsh, and a whole bunch of others. ESPN Sports Center is on many times during the day. It dominates ESPN's schedule in the weekdays from like early in the morning to 3 o'clock. It's non-stop Sports Center on most days. And that's about it on that. I'll be back in a little while for my Week 8 NFL preview predictions. I'm going to do it early today because I have to work from 12 to 5, and I might not have time to do a video blog after 5 o'clock, but it's going to be done before I go to work. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about the person I profile, Laura Spencer from Good Morning America. And have a good day, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Bye now.